What I'm going to be doing in this video is just showing you some of the behind the scenes. And so what I'm going to start with is actually, I want to add some French soldiers, to one of these trees. I'm just not too sure which one yet. So this is for my playthrough, my Hercules and Legendary Fellowship playthrough. And what I want to do is want to add a musketeer, a French soldier here. And this team is mostly the Vikings slash Knights, as you can see. And I know that seems pretty wild to add like a French soldier, but basically what I've done is I've made Calradia into one realm, let's say, kind of like Hogwarts or Narnia or Wizard of Oz, like something like that, where we got warriors from all across time, basically from the Stone Age up until the 1800s. And so we got heroes from all those eras. Mostly my team is like a fellowship of freedom fighters, and I got conquerors who are on all the other teams, so I just have to pick one of the random. Sometimes they don't end up in the right area, but basically I have to just pick one. Let's go back here. Maybe there's a branch. Not this one. Variag, nope, not that one. You know what? I've seen another guy who kind of looked like this, so I'm just going to change this one here. It could be this one, could they? I'm looking for the French soldier. So basically, like, some characters are just going to end up, oh, here's British. Some soldiers are just going to get put on to a random culture, or the culture that's most suited. And so I'm putting Napoleon and a couple French troops to join the Viking slash Knight team. So I'm gonna have to clear that. One sec, what I should do is I'm gonna see what tier. They're armor tier 2, so what I'll do, I got so much items that I don't want to scroll through them all, so I'm just trying to figure out which section it's under. And here we go. I'm probably going to put a few different musketeers. Like what we got is like some tribes have like native reinforcements, kind of like that game Age of Empires, War Chiefs and Asian Dynasties. Looks like they got no shoulder piece. French officer hat. There we go. See if they came with gloves. I don't think so, so we'll just go empty. So these guys are obviously going to be very weak when it comes to melee combat, but they're going to be pretty powerful, especially during sieges. Russian. Oops, I think I went right by the French here. Got some infantry boots. Now for the weapons, clear this, go type, I'm going to search bolts and crossbow. I think the musket section's actually empty, and the rifles actually are under a crossbow here. So I don't know exactly what kind of rifle they used, so I'm just gonna pick one. And I'll just go with this flintlock rifle, well crafted. So number 2, we're gonna give him some bullets, ammo, give him some regular black powder ammo, and 2 bags. And then we need a sword, just gonna be a little harder to find. One-handed. Here we go. Fancy. I guess I'm gonna have to go with one of these fancy swords here. Cavalry saber. Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, I've been trying to do some more videos with talking and explaining what's going on with my custom playthrough here, but I've been having trouble with audio quality, which is why I haven't been doing it as much. What I might do actually is make these guys into French soldiers as well. But instead of boring you guys with that whole process, that's just kind of how it works here. Is you open up the tree, shift, click, and I'm on version 1.03. The version of Warband is in the description, as well as my entire mod list. So if you want to try to do something like this, you can. Basically, I was on this playthrough and I was going to play it till it crashes, and well, it never crashed on me, so I'm still playing. I don't know if it's been almost a year, maybe, I don't know. Basically, we got every kind of troop you could think of, none of them really fully historical. They're more so like inspired by certain troops. Like, let's take a look here. Some of them are just vanilla, like especially some of these caravan troops and different things, because I found out the hard way some troops just can't be edited. They cause a crash for whatever reason. But here's my Roman troops. Like, you can see they're kind of, sometimes they're Centurion based, sometimes they're more Hoplite, sometimes they're Greek, sometimes they're Roman. Like, you know, it's just a mix, right? There's no real troops here. They're all, this is like a mage or a dark shaman, see, so it's a complete fake troop. So we got like hundreds of new troops here, like mages, muskets, troops from different eras. We got Nazgul. Let's go to, where are they? Valandia here. Look at, they got some musketeers. So I might upgrade those into something else, like English soldiers. Here's the tree, which has this kind of, this horned crusader. This, yeah. And then they got kind of like a mix. These are fantasy troops, but they're heavily armored knights with dueling pistols. This here's some form of Nazgul type. So this thing's really hard to kill. So some trees are more, what should I say? Some are more geared towards musketeers. Some are more black magic with mages. These guys are more, they're a mix, but they're mostly no dark magic, I don't think. I thought maybe they'd have a mage, but no. They got one musketeer, but these are more just enchanted bows, and they got legendary, what do you call it? So this team has got really heavy attack, light defense, and all the teams are a little different. So these guys got like, they got a couple musketeers and tons of bowmen, fire arrows. This is a pretty legendary tree. I haven't faced them yet, but I have seen a couple troops on the battlefield. Britannia is basically Middle Earth. And what I mean is like they're man, elf, and dwarf. So I got it changing as they upgrade. Instead of thinking it as a one troop upgrading, it's just they're all individual troops. And it's just to get more variance on the battlefield. I know a lot of people are like focused on the Amazon troops and on the jugs, but it's actually just a small part of the whole troop. There's actually so much going on with all these, like, look at here's like a dwarf. This is an elf dwarf hybrid, but he's wearing Gondorian type armor. Here's an elf. Call him Midgard. This is a Gondorian knight. Here's a dwarf man hybrid. And the reason I did that is obviously I can't actually change the race on this. All I can do is put elf ears on them. And so I just decided to make them a fellowship. So you got wizards, rangers, you know, elves. Azerai's been boosted quite a bit, so they got some mages. Look, they're a little bit more into dark magic. Like what I did was I got my own like Azerai troops, and what I've been doing is trying to make all the like the Valandia Empire Sturge, I've kind of made them into super powered civilizations with more technology and, you know, dark magic to make it more of a challenge for me and my overpowered character. So these guys are heavily armored. They got good attack. They got musketeers and mages. So this is probably the most well-rounded team. You know, they got good defense, good attack, good mages. They got good muskets. Their infantry, everything's there. They're the most well-rounded team, I think. Britannia is like the only, what would you say, the only light team left, or the only good team, I guess, that hasn't been overthrown by dark magic and conquerors. Maybe the Khuzaits as well. Actually, no, if you look, the Khuzaits actually are being run by Genghis Khan and a couple of those guys. Attila the Hun. And let's just take a look. So look at the Azerai's troops are the Zulus, who's run by Shaka Zulu. They got Mayan troops. And Lakota, who have, some of them have muskets. So it's a little bit like Age of Empires inspired. Some Comanche riders. But also it's got that fantasy element, Lord of the Rings. There's Elden Ring troops. Let's see if we can find one of those Elden troops. There's a lot of these types of troops. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do is make a new companion. And what I do is I make a perfect. What this means is he's already full level, except now I just got to gain him some experience. So he still starts with no stats. I'll show you what I mean here. Culture random. So we're gonna make a Britannian. Gender male. Age 20 is actually a good age. We'll keep it there. Create companion. So let's see who is the new guy. Griff Blacktooth. So you see what I mean? He's full. I got max attribute, which means their max stats are increased. But now I still have to go level up this companion, which is the same for most of my characters. That's just how I started out. Just to get a more quick leveling up happening. It becomes a lot of work actually upgrading all these characters, so it's something I don't like doing as much. What I'm gonna do is edit his appearance now. Griff Blacktooth, what we do is right click, then we can change his name and his appearance. Go right here. Oops. Then we can muck around with the appearance. I mean, that's pretty much good enough. I don't really need to muck around too much now. Let's look. I'm just gonna get him some. I'm gonna cheat and grab some simple clothes for him. It's just gonna take a second because of all the items. Maybe I'll be able to show you guys some of these things, some of these items that are available. Of course, you've probably seen some of these. We got mythical beasts, bulls, moose. Look at, there's a raptor. Once in a while we see dinosaurs on the battlefield. So basically what it's like is, like, picture all these characters, right, who have died in battle, whether they were famous, historical, or just infantrymen or whatever. So they all died and they're all spawning in at the same time in this other world, and now everybody's like fighting at the same time. That's why we got troops from, you know, the Stone Age up to somewhere in the 1800s is the cutoff before repeaters. We do have some characters from that age, but they've been given muskets, obviously. Okay. And basically my fellowship is mostly Amazons, just random Amazons, and then what I need is just a hood. Maybe I got one. It's mostly random Amazons and then historical characters, whether they are more historical or mythological, however you might think. Like we got King Arthur and Hercules, who are a little bit on the mythology side. Let's go down to hoods. And then obviously we got some more modern characters like Braveheart, Joan of Arc, and Crazy Horse, who are all like freedom fighters who are kind of similar. And like actually I got a couple characters from the Bible, just the historical versions of them, like Moses was based on some military leader who was similar to, you know, a Braveheart or Crazy Horse. And like however you want to look at the mythical side of things is, you know, it's up to you. But anyways, we're just in like the nether realm, so where's the hats? There's so many items, it's hard to really scroll through them all. But anyways, I wanted to make it like Lord of the Rings, but mythical characters. So we got Merlin the Wizard, and Hercules, and King Arthur. Where's Hoods at? We're all kind of based around, if you think about it, they're all kind of based around these characters. And like, so the wizards are like the guys with the visions and the supernatural knowledge. It's oddly similar to like Joan of Arc and Crazy Horse. But people got their own explanations for those. Let's see. Yeah, look at all these helmets. Like, there's so many items here. It'd take me all day just to scroll through them. Elden Ring. There's like a Nazgul Elden Ring hood. Urukai. So I definitely was trying to blend the historical and the mythical and fantasy all into one. And that's why you got all these characters from all these different eras. You know what? I don't really want to scroll too much through these items, so what I'm going to do is just upgrade this guy through buying things at the shops to see what's available. Actually, this hood might be... yeah, that one's a little better. So basically, we got every kind of warrior under the sun here. This is going to be the newest member, another bowman, Robin Hood, who's a lot similar to all these guys, Braveheart and King Arthur, Crazy Horse. Let's go. So if we look here, what I've done is I've turned down the damage on everything. So this stuff has been cranked down quite a bit. Speed has been changed, as well as the damage factor to make pole arms the most deadly. One-handed items aren't quite as good anymore. Like if you're up against a knight with a one-handed sword, good luck. But some of these other things, two-handed maces, you can still get knocked down, so it's been changed quite a bit there. Here's some slow motion dead shot, which I like to change that around. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. Character creation. Here's diplomacy. I haven't quite messed with anything here. This is just on the vanilla as far as I'm sure. That's what I remember anyway. But you can mess with this all you want. I just haven't really got to it because I've just kind of I've liked the vanilla version of it so far. And I don't like to mess with things too much when it's running. And when I do make changes, only make one at a time. That's what I would recommend. Here's dismemberment. It's a low % chance to dismember, and actually I should turn it down. 5% chance on a head dismemberment. More of a chance on the hand. I just don't like it activating slow motion too often. This can be 5. It's actually pretty hard to hack off somebody's arm and leg, especially if they got chainmail or anything. Bannerlord, you know what? I've been thinking about giving this to everybody. This means all enemy heroes and all my companions will have fire sword, just to make it a little more mythical, kind of like Diablo, like everybody's got a little bit of magic. So this is my secret to keeping companions alive. As you can see, I've got my healing off because it just makes it too easy. But for my companions, this allows them to last an entire round without going down, as long as they don't get overwhelmed. Once they get overwhelmed by too many soldiers, then they're like, if they can't get in a hit, of course they'll go down. The enemy lords have better to make them more of a challenge on the battlefield, and now they're gonna have fire sword as well. This one's pretty cool. You can change this up to like 1800. Look at this, the hideout. This is the final battle, or no, this is how many troops you could bring into a hideout. I can actually edit how many bandits are in a hideout too through a different mod. Here's cut through. This is a good one, knock them down. This is how I knock down so many players with Hercules. What I've done is turned up, for for my player, see this is player's knockdown chance. I make it very similar to what the AI gets, except for my one-handed mace, which is that club that I use. That's got a significant knockdown rate here, as it should. If you get hit by Hercules with a club, I would think you're going flying. And this just means, so obviously two-handed mace, two-handed axe, so those should be, you're going flying if he's hitting you with those like a golf ball. Whole arm, I tried to make it somewhat real, like these things don't have very good knockdown. These do as they should, they're kind of harder to land. And for the enemies, as you can see, they're pretty much the same. This is for all AI, so they can knock me down as well. I believe some of the attributes come into play there. This is for crafting. That's all. We also got, look at arena, we got expansive fights, which we can mess around with, check nearby tournaments. This is the arena overhaul. Look at, we can change how many participants are in the thing and how much you want the team battles. Look at number of team max, so it kind of gives you it randomly generates the number here. So you can have actually really big battles in the tournaments. This is what most people seem to notice or comment on is, is the inappropriate Amazon troops. But I mean, it is a fantasy playthrough. And like I said, this is only one troop tree. Like someone just commented that it's like Conan the Barbarian. That's pretty much the idea. The first episode of Hercules, from Hercules and Xena, actually was about Hercules and the Amazons. Some of them have appropriate armor. This is the Amazon Samurai, the Spartan, Viking, like a native. This guy is really tough. I gotta make him even tougher by giving him some. Oh, okay, no, he's got some really good items. There's one of these guys that has like kind of weak items, but he's super hard to kill. I think it's actually the dragon. What was it actually called? Yeah, this guy here. I think he's got just a regular weapon here, so what I'm going to do is give him something a little stronger. So some of these guys actually have insta-kill weapons, so it looks pretty easy when I'm clubbing out like hundreds of dudes, but the way I've got it set up is there's basically these super soldiers that you run into once in a while, and if you're not careful, they'll kill you in 1 or 2 hits. So that's what I'm doing here, is I just want to give this guy one of these. Look at the damage, 200 damage. Obviously I'm going to give him a legendary mace, or like, what would I call it? An epic, legendary, mythical, whatever way you want to look at it. I'm going to give him some type of hammer, like a mace. Beast jaw. Looks like I'm gonna have to go with the beast jaw. I don't know what it is, but we shall see later. I don't think he needs a shield, because he's already ridiculously overpowered. He's got a, so this guy's a mage too. This dude is like super overpowered. Let's give him a two-handed sword here. Dragon katana, yeah, that sounds good. He's the dragon. He comes from the dragon tree here. Look at, it starts off with this guy, Dragon Summoner, who's some sort of weird witch, Wiccan, dark mage, whatever. He's like, he rides this bull. Then it upgrades into this raptor, witch lady, and then final character is this guy here. So the battles are pretty interesting. Like, you run into all kinds of different bandits, different looters. Look at these guys have been buffed into somebody stronger. Look at this guy. These guys are Orkai bandits. These guys here are basically cowboys. This is a witch, serpent witch, troop tree here. Obviously they're mostly mages. Archie, those are the dragons. Skinwalkers means these guys are the wolf clan. Skinwalker recruit, warrior, Skinwalker knight. Basically they're just all wolf warriors. We got some French knights here. These guys are basically Vikings and knights, I guess. So they're similar to Sturgia, but they're more pirates and knights. No, pirates and Vikings, sorry. Sturgia is more like Viking knights. These guys are Viking pirates. Steppe bandits have been turned into Mongolian type raiders. And then we got some Celtic guys here. But anyway, that's where I'm going to end it. I just wanted to share what was going on. I'm going to get to playing now, so I'm just going to scroll through this so you can see some of the characters. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.